Hello and a very warm welcome to the Team Talk here at Easter Road. It's the final day of the 25-26 campaign and it's sure to be another dramatic one. European football is on the line as Hibs host Motherwell this lunchtime. The equation is simple. Hibs have to win to secure fourth place and guarantee European football next year. And if Motherwell avoid delete, well, they will claim fourth and that European spot. The stage is set, kick-off is from 12:30 and the build-up starts now. Yes, hello, welcome to the Team Talk here live from Easter Road. My name's Gavin Rittoo and joining me for one final time this season is none other than Yogi Hughes. Yogi, great to have you with us again. How are you?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to today's game, all to play for. And we've earned the right to be fighting for that fourth spot.
Yeah, I mean, so much is on the line today. David Gray's spoken a lot about us, always about catching that team in front of you, catching that team in front of you. And the last couple of games, as you said, we've earned the right with two massive away performances at Falkirk and Rangers.
Yep, 5 goals, all different goal scorers. Scarlett getting his first goal, so it's all positive. We're up against a right good Motherwell team, it has to be said. You know, if you've seen them at midweek against Celtic, very good football team, dominate the ball. But I think it just might suit Hibs. You know, I think we can suck it up, turn it over, and break on them and score a few goals.
Yeah, let's talk about midweek then, because it was a dramatic night at both Ibrox and Falkirk as well, with the late goals and the late drama. Where did you watch it all, and how were your nerves on Wednesday?
I was actually in the house watching it, and my nerves were all over the place. You're looking at looking at the Hibs score coming in, and you're watching it, and then you're watching the Motherwell Celtic game, and you're flicking over and watching the Hearts. Hearts are doing their business, you know, and then everything just what happened at Motherwell, you know, for that to happen, it gives Hibs a chance. We can sit here and say, was it right, was it wrong? Listen, we need to be respectful to Hearts. I felt they might have been hard done by, but we're here as Hibs men, and it gives us a chance to go and get that fourth spot in Europe.
Yeah, because we essentially cut the gap from 4 points to just 1 point, and it just shows after 37 game weeks, nothing is earned, and every point throughout the season is crucial. When you look back to some of the games and you think, oh, we could have picked up a point there, or we dropped a couple there, or whatever, every point is crucial come the end of the season.
100%, and we've said it a few times on the programme that Hibs have had too many draws this year. But when you're giving yourself a chance to go into the fourth spot in Europe, to go to Ibrox, to beat Rangers at Ibrox, that's the Old Firm, we'll beat them away from home. That tells you it's not a bad season. It's very fine lines, fine margins. But to beat Rangers at Ibrox, set yourself up here. Falkirk, then Rangers at Ibrox, set yourself up here, playing against Motherwell, all to play for. Should be a cracker.
I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you know the last time that we beat both Celtic and Rangers in Glasgow in the same season?
Well, that would have went back. Well, I'm going back 25 years.
More than that?
Tony Mowbray's time?
No, it was
way before that.
It was actually 1985 when last time we won in the league against both Celtic and Rangers in Glasgow.
Correct?
So it does show you the kind of scale of achievement and some of the performances and results we can get under David Gray.
You're 100% right, and I know what you're getting at. I just wish the supporters would realise that. You know, it's fine margins. Hibs are a right good watch. We've had a real hard season, great times in Europe. There's 1 or 2 games that have just slipped from us, but that's football. It doesn't always go your way. What Hearts are doing over the other side of the city puts a lot of pressure on Hibs. But I've always said, if you're the manager of Hibs, your remit is to get in the latter stages of the cup competitions, hopefully win it, and try and get that European spot, and we've got that chance.
Yeah, definitely, we do have that chance, and it's all set up with a brilliant win at Ibrox. Here's a reminder of the action from that one.
Lovely ball towards Boyle! Once again, Martin Boyle scores at Ibrox. Aslak again advances, got plenty of options. To his left, it's in!
Yes, 2-1 it finished to Hibs at Ibrox. Yogi, we touched on it earlier, but a brilliant away performance, and first of all, Dane Scarlett picked a perfect time to score his first goal for the club.
Yeah, we've been waiting on that, to be honestly. You know, he's got all the attributes. He's quick, he's powerful, technically he's very, very good, and we're just looking up to get that goal. It was just a little bit late in the season, but a great goal to get the victory.
Yeah.
So the reason I'm saying late in the season, you want him to get that goal earlier so he gives them confidence. Mm-hmm. So hopefully, you know, if he's playing today, he comes up with the goods.
Yeah. In terms of everyone at this stage of the season only looks at the results and stuff, but the performance, knowing that we needed to win to keep our chances of fourth place alive, it was, you know, really calculated. We sat in, we weathered the storm. Salinger made some massive saves during the game, but then come the last 50 minutes, we really went for it, got created chances and got our rewards in the end.
Yeah, 100%, and it'll be something like that today. I know we're at home and we want to get on the ball and try and dominate it, but I just feel Motherwell style of players, they'll do that, and that just might suit Hibs. You know, Hibs are a better team and they suck it up and break on teams. That might be the case today, but going back to that result at Ibrox, it's fantastic. It just shows you the character of your team. You know, the togetherness, the character, and the hard work that the coaching staff are doing to saying basically, be hard to beat because we'll always score goals. And in the last two games, you know, if you look at Rangers, Falkirk, to give ourselves that chance of European spot, we scored 5 goals. So, and all different goal scorers. So, good on the guys.
Yeah, and a word on Rafa Salinger, because he made some big saves at Ibrox to keep us in the game and to give us that platform to go on and win it.
Well, it's character. We're all pointing a finger at his mistake that he made against Hearts coming out the box, such a big game and all that. Listen, we all make mistakes, but it shows you his character. When the managers put faith in him, put him back in, he stood up to it. A lot of people, that might affect people, you know, but he stood up to it and said, bring it on. And 1 or 2 saves that he made sure that Hibs were coming away with the points. Yeah,
definitely. And well, Yogi touched upon the 2 wins, Rangers in midweek, and of course Falkirk last weekend. Here's a reminder of the action at the Falkirk Stadium.
Aslak puts the ball into the area. It's defended well. It's in left-footed. Decent. Hibs have a goal. Josh Campbell, I think it was. Corner hung up to the back post and nodded home. Nothing at all Nicky Hogarth, the Falkirk keeper, could do about that. And that's an absolutely terrific start from Hibs' point of view. This up, clips the ball, and that was inches away from Barney Stewart's outstretched left leg. Nicely, decent delivery. Barney Stewart again. Lasser has it. Chaiwa out to Obita again on this near side with a little bit of time. Good delivery again from Jordan Obita. Oh, that was a chance. Iredale does well for Hibs, clips it towards the Falkirk penalty area. Martin Boyle picks up, gets the ball back in. Chance there, Hibs have a second.
There's Josh again.
Josh Campbell again, this time at the back post as we look at it. Martin Boyle it was. Did well on this near side, turned his defender. Clipped the ball over to the back post, and Josh Campbell again nods the ball into the Falkirk net. Falkirk 0, Hibs 2. Barlasser goes for the shot. Gathered well down low by Nicky Hogarth. And Barlasser will take. Hanley wins it. Doesn't sit nicely. Jordan Abita, oh, that was deflected, and that was good goalkeeping by Hogarth. Paslak has it. Gets the ball across. Boyle stretches. Can Abita get the shot away? He does. It's number 3 for Hibs. Jordan Abita buries it beyond Hogarth. And after 39 minutes, Falkirk 0, Hibs 3. It's a thundering finish there from Jordan Abita, Siobhan.
Yeah, Mark gets across really well, and it's just, well, he's anticipating the next one, and he does, and he just smashed it on the floor.
Shooting opportunity here. That's a great finish. Well, Membrogio from the edge of the area, ruled into his path by Spencer. He had time to take a touch and pick his spot beyond Raphael Salinger. Hibs not particularly clever picking that up there, Siobhan.
No.
Gets it back from Brogio. The ball played in, Salinger does enough. Chance here. Gauche. Clipped into the Hibs area. Glanced wide. And he brings proceedings to an end here at the Falkirk Stadium.
Yes, 3-1 it finished at the Falkirk Stadium 7 days ago now, and you'll get a massive win in terms of, changing the momentum as well for the top 6, and it kind of cemented that 5th place. It meant that Falkirk can't catch us, and then it also gave us a platform to go on and catch Motherwell.
Yeah, and if you look at that result, first and foremost, you're going to a plastic pitch. Massive advantage to the home team. Last time we went there, we were 2-0. We were 2-0 up. Falkirk come back 2-0, and then they gubbed us 4-1.
Difficult place to go, yeah.
Very difficult, and it just shows you, and all credit to Falkirk, they've had a fantastic season. But once again, the boys went there and done the business. And I really want to praise Josh. I do the fans, I'm hearing the fans, he's not everybody's favourite. We've said that, we've seen better footballers. That's not his game. His game is getting in there and scoring goals. And I'm absolutely delighted. It's about time we got behind him. He's been here for a number of years. He gives it everything he's got, and he always scores goals. And you can always rely on him. And as the years go by, I'm quite sure he'll get better. It reminds me so much of Pat McGinley. Pat McGinley was brilliant at just going in, scoring goals. And Josh is like that. So it's about time we really gave him the support his efforts deserve and his goals deserve.
Aye, definitely.
And I'm talking about supporters, we need to get behind it.
Yeah, because it was his first start, I think it was since December at the Falkirk Stadium, and he really took to it quickly. Sometimes you
I'm
take
glad you've said that as well, because he's seen midfielders coming in, he's seen himself sit on the bench. He always seems to be available. And I just love when he comes on, because you see, listen, we've seen no goals, headed goals. I'm quite, if memory serves me right, the one against Hearts when it got whipped in and he's across there. That's Josh. That's Josh. And we need to appreciate that kind of footballer and be delighted that we've got him in our ranks. And wouldn't be surprised today if he starts a game, he would score a goal.
Yeah, because he has scored.
He's a goal-scoring midfielder.
Yeah, he scored some massive goals for the club, and as you said, he always gives us all. Just going back to that Falkirk game, Josh obviously gave us the perfect start with 2 quick goals in the first half, followed by Abita. But it was a really professional first half display, and then to see the game out as well under the circumstances, the boys can take a lot of confidence and credit for that.
Yeah, but we've said that just earlier on in the show. That's all down to the coaching staff, how hard the distances they get, the shape that they play. Everybody knows their job. Sometimes knowing you're going to suffer, the other team's going to get the ball, but knowing as soon as we turn it over, we're on the break. I mean, you've got players like Boyle who's on for him as well, and other strikers up there. You've got the pace to play that in. And I've seen the Hibs doing that a lot. I've been sitting watching the game saying the other team's a better team. Boom, next game minute, Hibs have scored, it's in the back of the net. And we've got plenty of players there. We've just mentioned Boyle and Josh. We've got 1 or 2 others that can certainly go and do that.
Yeah, and fingers crossed we'll have them on form today. Right, we're going to take a short break now, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll get the pre-match shots from both David Gray and Martin Boyle as well. Back in a couple of minutes.
shopping, working, and relaxing online can attract various digital threats. To improve your protection against them, just turn on NordVPN. This cybersecurity app will block web trackers and malware-infected sites. It will also encrypt your internet traffic without losing a smooth connection. Get NordVPN now. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.
Yes, hello, welcome back to the Team Talk here from Easter Road as we build up to Hibs versus Motherwell, the final day of the 25-26 campaign. Right, time to hear from a player who's had a magnificent Hibs career to date, and he's always won for a big moment as well. Martin Boyle was on media duties earlier this week.
On a personal level, how are you emotionally in terms of last game at Easter Road?
Yeah, it's a little bit surreal today. Boys gave me a good send off after training, which was nice. But obviously just trained as properly as I could, fully focused on the game, and like I say, I think my kids are walking out with me tomorrow, so hopefully I can enjoy it with them and put in a solid performance for the club and hopefully secure a European spot.
How would you sort of reflect and summarise your 11 years here in terms of what it's meant to you?
Well, I don't know, I could go on all day. It's been a crazy roller coaster. I think everyone knows how much this club means to me and how much passion I've shown and appreciation that everyone's gave me through the good times and the bad, even after injuries and coming back, and you know, just full credit to them by sticking by me, full credit to everyone that's stuck by me, all the managers, all the staff through the years. So yeah, it's been fantastic. Can't really say a bad thing about the club, which is it's obviously nice, but yeah, I've loved it, and hopefully everyone's seen that, and hopefully everyone's seen that I've gave everything for the cause and everything for the club. And like I say, hopefully I can go out one more memorable moment.
Yes, that was Martin Boyle speaking to the media earlier this week, discussing some of his best moments with the club across his 12 seasons in total that he's been here, and he's been a fantastic servant to the club.
Unbelievable. He's found himself captain, and I feel the system that Hibs play now in terms of the shape is now got a more freedom to roam the top end of the pitch. He's not just stuck on that right wing, and in so doing that, I think you've seen he's flourished in that position, and I think you've seen the best there. You know, there's plenty of grass to run into, and one thing about him is he's got electric pace. If you're talking about the goal, it's the one against Hearts. Just this year when he got played down over the top, took it on and just went in there and then a goal against Hearts. But being a great servant. Listen, we were talking to him just before we come on. We're not going to get into the politics and all that stuff, football, but I think what he showed over the last half a dozen games once he's been back in the team, he's still got another year in him. But football's football. Sometimes everything good thing comes to an end. And if that, I hope no, but if that is the case, hopefully he can score a few goals today.
Yeah, we're just seeing some of his goals here. These are all actually, in fact, against Motherwell. 8 goals he scored against Motherwell during his Hibs career. And like you said, Yogi, he's a man for the big moments, and he's 110 goals he scored from the club. It's a massive accolade and an honour for him to get over 100 goals for one
Unbelievable,
club.
because he's a right winger. You know, he's a right winger, so to score goals for a right wing and do that, and as you say, he's set the standards. He's been out there and he's been a fantastic. He's a Hibs icon, and the fans absolutely love him, and rightly so. I keep doing when I'm in amongst the supporters. I'm not a gambling man, but everybody says, you know, what do you think the score will be today? And the first thing I say, get Boyle down for the first goal, because he takes the penalties, he scores a goal. And if you've seen the goal against Rangers, I was watching his movement. A lot of players want to go to the ball. He was quite happy staying away for the ball and taking his chance when it come over. He didn't half finish it. All credit to him. He's been a fantastic servant. And me being a Hibs supporter, I'd like to see him here for another few years.
Yeah, he's got that kind of sixth sense in the box, which he's probably developed over time, in the sense that, as you said, he started off as a winger, but then as more recently, especially under David Gray, played through the middle of the pitch. Where do you think his best position is?
Well, I think it's now. I think he's been fantastic at both. When he's on that wing, you can get the ball to him. He gives you an out. He can take a man on. He gets his crosses in. But I think over the last few years, playing in that centre forward position, that's really developed him as a player, and I think he's embraced it. And as you say, Hibs have reaped the rewards of that.
Yeah, and Of course, he'll want to go off with a big send-off today. Do we have another magic moment out of him today? And of course, send him off to the World Cup as well.
Well, if he scored, it looks like Motherwell's his team that he likes to score against. So I'm quite sure, just talking to him and look at him just before, in his eyes, he's got that bit between the teeth to make sure it's his day. And I wouldn't be surprised, if he went out there and scored a few goals.
Yeah, definitely. Right, well, not long till kick-off now. Time to get the pre-match thoughts from David Gray. I caught up with him yesterday at HTC. Dave, one more game to go. We've spoken a lot in recent months about trying to catch that team in front of us, and no better opportunity than this weekend.
No, certainly not. I think going into this week, after a slow start to the split, we knew we needed to try and get 3 wins to give ourselves the best chance. We've got 2 out of 3 so far, and we needed Motherwell to drop points to give us that opportunity to take it to the last day, and that's happened. So as you've just rightly said there, that going into it, we've got an opportunity to catch the team in front of us. If we win at home, it'll be a difficult game, but one now the players are all set for the momentum's behind us. They're in a real good place, and it is that cup final attitude now going into the game.
Yeah, how impressed have you been with both the performances and the results? 2 massive away wins over the last 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, I think from a coaching point of view, you always look at the performance, because you always look at how you can improve and speak to players about certain situations and analysing the game. Now, the biggest thing at this stage was all about results, because without the result we could have the best performance at Ibrox and not won the game. It was all about winning, and we knew that going into the game. We made a massive point of that. I mean, we do, listen, the game plan's to go and win every single game, of course it is. But, the last 15-20 minutes, the players really threw caution to the wind and got after Rangers and tried to make sure we've done everything we can to get that chance and take it. We were clinical on the night, and it's going to have to be more of the same. We're going to face a Motherwell side that have been consistent all season, and we need to make sure that we put that complete performance in. 1 more to go, but the incentive's there for every player, as we know, and the rewards are certainly there at the back of it as well.
Yeah, what do you expect from Motherwell? Because it's a team that have obviously received a lot of plaudits this season, and you mentioned to me after the game it's the only team that we haven't beaten this season, so does that give it an extra kind of carrot?
It definitely does. I think we're beating Rangers now. Motherwell is the only team we've not beat this season. I know there's an inner drive for the players that they want to change that, but this weekend, because we are playing the team directly above us with that mindset of trying to catch them, it's really set up for a cracking game. As we know, it will be a difficult game, as I've touched on. They are exactly the same. They know that a point or winning the game would guarantee them 4th place, so they've got the incentive. We know that, but it's all about what we do on the day. We know that we need to get the crowd right behind us. It will be, and we're certainly going in it in the best possible frame of mind. A real strong squad as well, so only Rudy Molotnikov is the one that's going to miss the game through injury. Everybody else is trained. Thankfully there's nobody else suspended, which keeps the squad as healthy as it can be, which is going to be important because of the magnitude of the game, because of what potential changes might have to be made, because it's all about winning.
Just finally then, obviously Martin Boyle's last game, he's still coming up with big moments for us, as we saw in midweek. How important is it that we give him a proper send-off on Sunday?
Well, that's what I believe he deserves for what he's done for the football club. I've spoken a lot about Boyle in recent weeks about his contribution. It's no surprise that he goes and gets big goals again at the latter stages of the season. He's done that his full Hibs career. I don't know exactly how many goals. He's over 110 or so, I think so. And the amount of appearances he's made, he fully deserves to go out on a high. And when you speak to him, he certainly wants that as well. I think his level of performance has reflected that in recent weeks as well. So there's 1 more to go for him and for us to make sure we go and get what we deserve for the season, which would be a 4th place finish.
Nice one, Dave. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Yes, that was David Gray speaking to Hibs TV yesterday at HTC. Yogi, the manager, mentioned it, but at this stage of the season, it's all about winning games, and he talked about so much at stake today in the league in general, but for us, the opportunity to overtake Motherwell, to get European football, to catch them, and it's the only team we've not beaten as well.
That's exactly, I was waiting on you saying that, and it's going to be very difficult today. The Motherwell manager's a real football manager. They want to dominate the ball sometimes. In Scottish football, when you're passing across the back, and all you're doing is just, you're setting up for other team to jump. As soon as they jump, and then you go in, and I've got some great players. The best one, I think, is the boy Just, the New Zealand boy. He was right on my radar, and you just see it instantly, just the way he looks after the ball, the way he can caress it, his pass, and he's got a bit on what in midfield. They're a real good football team. All credit to the Motherwell coach for playing that style of play. Yeah. Hibs, on the other hand, we've got a different style. I think David's hand was a little bit forced. that time when it all changed against Aberdeen when Rocky scored.
Last season, yeah.
That was a 5 at the back. When you play 5 at the back and the opposition play 2 wingers and a striker, that's you sitting in, that's you penned in. If the other full-back score, your job is you can always run them out, but what you'll probably do is what the wingers are doing is pinning your full-backs.
Yeah.
That gives the opposition a massive advantage in midfield and massive overload, and that's how sometimes, we get outplayed. It doesn't mean to say that you concede goals, and I've really enjoyed watching that. The way we still defend. Any crosses come in, we defend. They put their body on the line, and we've got players that can get on the ball and make things happen. And all credit to the coaching staff, David and the coaching staff, for realising that. And I spoke to him away last year. I said, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And that's all you need to do. Sometimes we go looking for stuff that it might actually not help it.
Ends up hindering it, yeah.
Hindering it, and I think David's done that. So once again, we've talked earlier on in the show, it's fine margins. I think the Hibs supporters really need to get behind the team, and it's been a fantastic year. If we get that 4th spot today and get that European spot, absolutely different class.
Yeah, and everyone, rightly so, as given Motherwell and James Berto ask you the plaudits and praise they deserve for the way that they play. But when you strip it all back, we are one point behind them, 1 game away from finishing above them. So it would show, the real credit to Hibs.
That's what we're saying. Yeah, we're all banging the drum about Motherwell and all this stuff, and rightly so. We're great, but Hibs are right in there. And we, as you say, we've had a lot of injuries. We've had a lot of sending offs that we have to rectify. A lot of injuries. And yet we're still in there giving ourselves a chance. A lot of players we sold our big centre forward, Big Bowie. Great bit of business. Everybody forgets that. That's got you need to find a replacement, and that replacement has to come in and hit the ground running, and that's not quite happened. So there's been a lot in there, ingredients in there to say. Just to give you that, but it could have been a little bit better. But
definitely.
It's football. Football doesn't happen like that, Gavin. Football, and you have to embrace it. And as you say, for us to be sitting here, home game, last day of the season, home game against a great Motherwell team, if we go and beat them, we can get that 4th spot. Absolutely fantastic achievement.
Yeah, definitely.
The supporters, we have to realise that. I think there's a wee problem what's happening across the road because of the great season that Hearts have had. We feel that we're getting underplayed a little bit. So all credit to Hearts. That might be us next year because what they've done is they've set the benchmark. So there's no excuse next year.
Yeah, definitely. And you're right when you talk about that in terms of the comparison stuff. If you actually compare this season with Hibs to last season, if we win today, we'll have actually accumulated more points than we did last season, and we ended up finishing 3rd.
You're a statter.
I know, I've had a few today.
But there you go, that just shows you, and I'm glad you're coming out with that because I'm getting a little bit frustrated trying to sort of bang the drum for Hibs and the players and all that. Yeah, Hibs are in a right good place. We're a right good team. The club's on a great way trajectory going forward. We've got some real good players. We've had a lot of injuries. And yet we're still in there battling away. So all credit to everyone concerned on the football side.
Yeah, in terms of amidst all the the late goals and the drama of Wednesday night, one thing that a lot of people did miss, and we've not spoken about it yet, but was the return of Josh Mulligan into the middle of midfield. He came off the bench against Rangers, and that's when you talked about injuries. That's another player who was massive for us in the first half of the season, and it's great to see him back as well.
I'm actually going to put my head on the block here, and I think if Josh never got injured, I think he would have got Player of the Year. I know they all want to get to strikers and all these guys that scores goals, but I think he's been wonderful. Still got a lot to go. He still needs to score more goals. His final pass has to be a little bit better, but his energy and what he brings to the team and his box to box, that will come.
Yeah. He has been brilliant, and another player that signed in the summer and hit the ground running as well. He's been brilliant, along with Jamie McGrath and plenty others. Owen Elding, who joined in January as well. All players who have got a great Hibs future ahead of them.
I took my time on him. I've done my homework on him, and I've been watching him very close. He's a better footballer than I thought. He's technically good. He's got a problem. You know what his problem is? He's working too hard. He's outside the box, he's chasing channels, he's working too hard. These goal scorers just nowhere to be in the box. And that'll come through experience. I'm no knocking that. We all want that. He's becoming a fan's favourite for wearing his heart on his sleeve and working hard. And then one of the players we'll have to mention is Paslak, the fullback.
Yeah, he's been brilliant.
He's been absolutely, technically he's brilliant. He's up and down there, he plays that wing back role, he's in there centre forward. There's no a rain on you. If you're going down the left, your job is to get in the back post and score goals. And he's done that. Good footballer, great recovery, a little bit frustrated that he got sent off against Hearts. I think he got bumped and he just flung his leg out a little bit, and then the referee had no option. But he's been fantastic. So everything at Hibs are in a real good place. And hopefully we can win the day and cement that 4th spot.
Yeah, definitely. One more game to go. Yogi, I know you like to do a first goal prediction, and you like to do score predictions as well, and you're usually quite accurate. Last time this season, what are you going with?
I think Hibs will win 2-1, and I'm going to go for Boyle for the first goal.
Boyle first goal, Hibs 2-1. That's what Yogi's saying, and he's rarely wrong.
There you go, eh?
But Yogi, no, thank you so much for joining us and for all your support on Hibs TV this season. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on.
Thanks very much.
And thank you very much for watching for the final time this season. We'll pass you over to our commentary team of Cliff Pike and Joel Murray. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all again next season.